It's the ultimate dream, isn't it? That little ticket in your hand is suddenly worth $1 billion. But that amazing fantasy very quickly slams into a very real, very complicated financial reality. So let's really get into this.
Just picture it for a second. Your numbers match. Everything just stops. You've done it. You are officially a billionaire. So, what now? Your heart's pounding, you're thinking of everything you could possibly do, but man, the pressure is on. Okay, but hang on a second. Before you start shopping for a private island or booking a ticket to the moon, there's a choice you have to make. And honestly, it's probably the single biggest financial decision you will ever face. It's going to define everything that comes next. Yep, you heard that right. Your first major decision has nothing to do with what you'll buy. It's all about how you actually take the money. And believe me, this choice, it changes everything. Your taxes, how you live, what you leave behind, everything. So you've got two main options here. Path number one, the lump sum. We're talking one giant mountain of cash all at once. Path number two, the annuity, which is like a guaranteed paycheck every year for the next 3 decades. So let's really break these two down and see what they're all about. All right, let's tackle path one, the lump sum. Immediate wealth, immediate challenges. This is the one everybody daydreams about, right? The instant jackpot. You become a mega millionaire in the blink of an eye. But as we're about to see, all that cash right away brings some pretty serious challenges with it. So you see this number everywhere, $1 billion. It's plastered on every news channel. And yeah, it's an unbelievable number. But it's also a little bit of smoke and mirrors, because that is not what's going to land in your bank account if you go for the cash option. And bam, here's the reality check. The lump sum cash value is way less. For $1 billion prize, we're talking something closer to $543 million. And get this, that's before the tax man even comes knocking. So what gives? Why such a massive drop? Okay, so here's why that number shrinks so much. The lump sum is what's called the present cash value. Think of it like this. It's the amount of cash the lottery would have to stick in a super safe investment, like U.S. Treasury bonds, right now to grow it into that full billion-dollar jackpot over the next 30 years. You're basically taking the money today, but you're giving up all the interest it would have earned over those 3 decades. Now, the upsides to taking the lump sum really boil down to one word: control. It's your money right now. You can invest it however you see fit. Maybe you're a savvy investor and think you can get a way better return than the lottery's safe and steady bonds. Plus, it makes things a lot simpler if you're thinking about estate planning and leaving a legacy for your family. But that control is absolutely a double-edged sword. First off, you're going to get hit with a gigantic tax bill right out of the gate, federal and probably state too. And the mental game? Wow. Having hundreds of millions of dollars just sitting there, the temptation is huge. The discipline it takes is off the charts, and the risk of just messing it all up is incredibly real. Suddenly, you're not just a lottery winner. You're the CEO of You Incorporated, for better or for worse. All right, let's switch gears and look at the other option. Path 2, the annuity. Steady income, long-term security. So if the lump sum is the get-rich-quick plan, the annuity is the stay-rich-for-a-long-time plan. It's the whole slow and steady wins the race approach. And this isn't just some flat payment every year. It's a specific kind of annuity called a 30-year period certain annuity. Now, that certain part is key. It means you are guaranteed to get paid for 30 years, period. If you happen to pass away before the 30 years are up, the payments just keep going to your family or your estate. And here's another cool thing. The payments go up by about 5% every single year. That's built in to help you fight off inflation. Wondering where all that security comes from? Well, the lottery doesn't just stuff your cash under a mattress. They take the prize money and buy a whole portfolio of U.S. Treasury bonds. We're talking about one of the safest investments in the entire world. Those bonds are what fund your annual payments. It's about as stable and conservative as a system can get. So the pros here are pretty obvious. You've got a guaranteed income stream for 30 years, and it even grows over time. It basically forces you to be disciplined with the money, which is a great way to protect yourself from, well, yourself, and from every long-lost cousin who suddenly shows up. On top of that, you're spreading out your taxes over 3 decades instead of taking one massive hit, which could save you a ton of money over the long haul. Of course, there's a flip side. All that security comes at the cost of flexibility. You can't just wake up one day and decide you need a few million for a brilliant business idea or an emergency.
You get your scheduled payment, and that's it. And remember, after 30 years, the party's over. The payments stop. It's not income for life. And this rigidity can be a real pain when it comes to planning for your heirs, which is something we definitely need to talk about.
Okay, so we've walked down both paths. Now let's do a little head-to-head comparison. Lump sum versus annuity. This should make the pros and cons really pop. This really lays it all out, doesn't it? If immediate cash and total control are your game, the lump sum is the clear winner. But you're also signing up for a massive tax bill and the huge risk of blowing it all. On the other hand, if you're all about safety and forced discipline, the annuity is your best bet. But you're giving up that flexibility and immediate access. It really is the ultimate trade-off, freedom versus structure. So now we're protecting your fortune, because winning is just the beginning. See, picking how you get paid, that's just the first step. The real challenge is making that fortune last. Not just for you, but for your family, for generations to come. Winning the lottery isn't the finish line, it's the starting line. And this quote really hits on a crucial point. Lottery annuities are not ideal for generational wealth. While that annuity is fantastic for your security, it can actually be a big headache when you start thinking about passing on your wealth. And here's exactly why that is. Let's say you take the annuity and you pass away 10 years in. Your kids or your heirs don't get a giant check for the remaining 20 years of payments. Nope. They just step into your shoes and start getting those same annual payments for the next 2 decades. That's not very flexible if you're trying to do some serious estate planning. So, what's the solution? Well, there are some really smart insurance strategies you can use. For example, you could take a chunk of your winnings, either from the big lump sum or from your annual annuity checks, and buy a massive life insurance policy. That creates a whole separate tax-free lump sum that goes directly to your heirs. You can also look into things like long-term care coverage to make sure your fortune doesn't get wiped out by medical bills down the road. So, let's talk about your winning strategy, because at the end of the day, it's a personal choice. After hearing all this, you're probably asking, okay, so which one's the right choice? And the honest answer is, there isn't one. It's completely personal. It all depends on your age, how disciplined you are with money, and what you really want to achieve with this incredible windfall. And you know what? The absolute best outcome usually comes from not picking one or the other, but by blending the two with some professional help. A solid financial team can help you take the lump sum and then use other tools like trusts or private annuities to build your own stream of income, one that's way more flexible. Or if you take the lottery's annuity, they can help you use something like life insurance to solve that inheritance problem we talked about. The key to all of this is smart planning. Which brings us to the final question, really. What is true wealth? Is it a mountain of cash right in front of you that you can touch and control with all the massive potential and all the massive risk that comes with it? Or is it the peace of mind you get from knowing, without a doubt, that you're set for the next 3 decades? The answer to that, well, it probably says a lot about who you are.